Welcome back to STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and we're learning more about the World Affairs Council of St. Louis and their annual Chinese New Year celebration, which is coming up on February 3rd. Before we get into the details of this great event that's going to be at the Ritz-Carlton, I do want you to be able to finish to talk about some of the work that the World Affairs Council does that also involves the State Department. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah. One of the third thing that we do is we have been the host for years of the U.S. State Department's International Visitor Leadership Program, and about 200 people a year, high potentials, are selected by our embassies and come to St. Louis, where we put on professional and cultural development sessions using all of our businesses and members and friends. And the other point that might be useful is that St. Louis Council is one of 90 across the country that is the oldest and largest nonprofit dedicated to citizen diplomacy. Now, we have to raise all of the funds for our existence locally, and we have about 60 organizational members and a couple of hundred individual members. And at the same time, we have to do a couple of fundraisers in order to get us through the year.
And that's a great introduction to lead up to the Chinese New Year celebration. So this is coming up February 3rd. We've got some photos, I think, from past years. This is the big fundraiser then, one of the big annual fundraisers.
It is at the, it's our 26th one.
Yes.
Annual event. It's at the Ritz-Carlton. It consists of a fun and games period in a banquet, and then there's Chinese entertainment, and it also involves having raffles, silent auctions, and oral auctions. So a little bit of everything. We have entertainment not only for the Chinese portion, but we have things like a magician and a tarot card reader and paper cutters and an accordionist, and
very neat.
so it's a fun event.
Yeah.
And we get about 300 people, and people come back every year because they just have fun. It's at a time in the year when they're tired of winter, and this can be a fun
just want
way
to celebrate. No, it sounds
just enjoy yourself.
It does. It sounds like a full evening. Do you feel like, I wouldn't say this past year, obviously, with politics that have been a very interesting year. Do you find that because of the way that social media plays a role, and that the way that media and online websites for news, that people are more engaged in diplomacy and foreign and sort of international relations, and their interest in that?
Yeah, I'd say that that's happened, and it's also helped by the fact that we can do topics like ISIS. We can do things on countries like Turkey, so we focus more on things that people know about and want to know more about and understand. So it's a combination of more interest and I think of greater focus on the part of the 12 to 15 programs.
And so for the individual memberships, is that pretty much open to anyone?
It's open to anyone. It's a modest cost, like $150 a year.
And you have access to all of these events. Do you find a lot of your individual members, because I know you mentioned your corporate and organizational members, but with individual members, were they sort of history majors in school, or are they just people who are big fans
they're just
of learning about
doctors
the world?
and lawyers, and I used to say Indian chief, but we've lost that person. But they're just people that want to get more active and learn more about what's currently going on.
What do you foresee to be some of the discussion points for 2017 that you'll focus on?
Well, I'd say we're just at the beginning of that, but we have 2 or 3 ambassadors that are lined up to come in during the course of the year, and we're trying to get topics that help people understand terrorists and some of the things that everyone can do to kind of help defeat that whole cause.
Sure, sure. You might be putting Russia later on the mark. You might be.
Well, we're not a close friend of Russia, so
no, we'll see where things develop in the coming years. But this has been really interesting. If you're interested in attending the World Affairs Council's fundraiser, it's the 26th annual Chinese New Year celebration. It's taking place on February 3rd from 6 to 10 p.m. For more information, for tickets to go, you can reach out to Robert at rfischer at wac-stl.com or call the number on your screen or visit their website. Your website's great. It's got a lot of information.
Everybody is welcome.
Yes, yes, and learn more about their program. And if you're interested in joining and becoming a member, you can do so there too. So thank you again for being here. I wish we had more time. There's a lot to talk about.
Well, there is.
All right, thank you. And there's more STL Live right after this. Please stay with us.